Peace and blessings, beloved. It's your sis Aisha Rahman. Welcome back to my channel. And if it's your first time here, welcome. I am your sis Aisha Rahman. I am a library science and information technology student. Here on my channel, I talk a little bit about genealogy research, the tools and resources that I'm using. I talk about genetics and DNA. I also share a little bit about heritage travel and my own personal journey with my genealogy research and the places that I'm traveling to and reconnecting to my family history. In today's video, I am going to talk about sharing the information that you find in your genealogy research when you find information that people didn't really want you to find. So in previous videos, I talked about interviewing your family members about family. I talked about uncooperative family members. So in today's video, I'm going to talk about privacy and ethics in genealogy. So if you are interested in learning about the legalities of genealogy and the ethics, you can visit the National Genealogical Society. They have a standards on ethics. They also produce a couple of books. And these are resources that are provided for professional genealogists, also known as pro-genealogists. So people don't have to have a license. There really isn't an education requirement for somebody to become a genealogist. However, there is a volunteer certification to become a genealogist if you want that credential for people to look at you more seriously. So that's something that you can look into if you are hiring a genealogist, is maybe asking them, are they certified? Have they been basically reviewed by their peers who have said that in a sense, their record keeping and their recording of the information that they find is of high quality standards. So one of the things that you may be wondering is, I found this person in my family who we didn't know was in our family, or I found out that this person actually isn't the parent of that person. What should I do? What can I do? So in a previous video, I mentioned that every person who's still alive has a right to privacy. However, after that person has passed away, all of their information, all their business becomes public information. It's on the internet, it's in the census records, and it's available for the public. And you're not obligated to hide that information. However, you want to be respectful of the people, their descendants, that are still living and connected to this person that has passed away. So I've had this experience personally. I have found people that are related to me that we never heard about. And as well as I have found people that I'm related to that they had no idea that we existed, that my family was out here being related to them. So one of the things that you can do when you're documenting your family history or your information, especially if it's online, I would say if it's written down and you're only keeping it on your person, you're keeping it to your family members only, I say share the information, share the truth. I am all about the truth. My family doesn't get it. I'm all about the truth. The bad truth, the good truth, the truth is the truth. Sorry, it's the truth. There's no need to be ashamed, especially if it happened, what's the word, years ago, especially it happened generations, that's the word I'm looking for. So it happened generations ago. I wouldn't worry about it. Now, if you are putting it online, which a lot of us do, is if your tree is online, you can make that person's information private within your family tree. Ancestry does this really good, but I also use genie.com. They also do a very good job of making that person's information private. You can also make your whole entire family tree private. Especially when you're connecting your information to somebody else's information, you'll find people who have family trees, but they're private. The other thing you can do is you can redact information. So this is one of the things that I've found to compromise with my family members that are a bit uncooperative, don't want to really share the information, is you can just use their initials. You can use their initials, and then in your hard copy or your paperwork, you can have a key that says these initials belong to this person. And you can write that they didn't want their information shared. The other thing you can do is you can use synonyms or pseudonyms. You can use, don't use their full names or use their nicknames. So for example, my grandfather's nickname was Shorty. Nobody knows who Shorty is other than our family members. So the public or anybody else that's researching him, they're not going to know who Shorty is unless they happen to know him. So those are some things that you can do is you can redact information, you can use initials, you can use abbreviations, you can use nicknames, you can use pseudonyms. Those are some things that you can do to maintain your family members' privacy. So the other thing I wanted to talk about is how much information do you share? So that's the other thing is when you create your family tree online, whether it be Genie.com, Ancestry, My Family Tree, you can put just their name. You don't even have to put their date of birth or when they passed away. And if you automatically mark, so on Genie.com and Ancestry.com, if you automatically mark that that person is living, it maintains their privacy. So you don't have to put all their information, or you can just make all your people appear to be alive, even if they're not, and their information is automatically saved as private. So you don't have to share all the information in your family tree. You can just have their name. You can use their initials. You can put their date of birth, or you can just put the day that they passed away, or none of it. So it's really up to you. So when I start out family trees and when I give demonstrations to family trees, sometimes I just use initials. When I'm doing reports that I'm going to publish, say for example, if I'm writing a blog post about my research, I will use initials or I will use nicknames. Usually I use initials, but it can get confusing, especially when you have people that share the same initials. So those are some tips that I have when it comes to keeping information private. Now, when it comes to, and I'm looking down because I've got some notes here, when it comes to, so I've already told you guys about the National Genealogical Society and their standards, but when it comes to privacy and copyright, there are some records that I won't say you can be sued. However, keep in mind that there are some records, especially within the National Archives, that have copyright on them. So they are free for you to use personally, but you're not allowed to publish them in their entirety. So for example, if I'm doing research on my family and I get information from the archives, I can include a little bit of it, but I can't just take that whole entire document and then republish it, especially like in a book or something where I'm going to make money. I can include a portion of it and then include my own commentary, very similar to YouTube. It just comes under the general copyright laws. So you can't be sued for sharing the information. However, it is considered to be unethical, especially if you are in any way striving to be a professional genealogist, or you want to show people that you are somebody who can be trusted. Sharing your family members that can trust you with the information that they give you, is you want to stick to those national standards and guidelines when it comes to your own, even your own personal family history. So that is pretty much it, guys. Life is good. Have a blessed day.